You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. How are you? Come on in here. Listen, especially if you are a rule... Why do I say rule breaker? How about somebody who just doesn't like rules? And maybe you struggle to get what you want. So we're going to talk about some rules today, and if you do these simple rules, life gets easier.
I need a boost. I need a daily boost. I need a boost. I need a daily boost.
How are you? It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. Yeah, talking some rules today, kind of going old school. I like to cover this maybe twice a year. I have a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of episodes out there, and it's kind of hard to go back and find them because there's like 1,300 online right now. Of the 5,000 plus we've done, there's 1,300. No, you don't get to hear the others. You don't need 20 years of my life on your podcast feed, okay? So that's why I don't have that many out there. Good to have you. By the way, thank you for all the communication happening on Instagram. I should post more pictures and videos there. I will. I know you're asking for that. But at least we can chat there, right? Hey, Scott Smith, you guys are sending me nice messages, and I love how it just comes up on my phone. I get to talk with you back and forth. And you can also send Scott at dailyboostpodcast.com. I do answer those emails directly. People are surprised I actually answer them. I used to have people that answered my stuff. It's just no fun. I just live in a bubble that way, and it's no fun for me. So I like to talk to you, okay? But Veronica, remember Veronica a week or so ago? She quit her job. Or did she get fired? I forget. Anyway, I talked to her before on chat, and I said, it's not sustainable. You got to get out of there. She wanted to be an influencer. Anyway, so she went out and did it, and she sent me a screenshot of her TikTok account today, a little 11-minute video she posted, and in about 2 days' time, 182,489 views, about 1,600 total hours of view time. Unbelievable. She thinks she wants to be an influencer. She cranks out and does that. Girl, if you can do that, you made the right choice. Don't ever be shy about following what you feel like you really can do. Yeah, there's a lot of things here we had to play with because obviously if you just quit your job and go out and do what you think is fun, eventually you got to pay the bills, right? I get it. But still, you can do whatever you want to do. You have the freedom to do it. And I think I had a little bit to play in this because she did ask for some advice, and I rarely give advice on Instagram. There's no context for me to work on. She gave me enough. I just gave her my direct feedback to it, and because of what I said, she quit her job. Ooh, I don't know if that's something to be proud of or not. Anyway, I did it. Let me think about that for a second. Okay, today, going to go back in time a little bit. I do this show maybe twice a year because it's good stuff and you got to get this. So let me ask you a question. When it comes to setting rules, do you like rules? Man, I was a rule breaker for a long time. I really was. And I learned something probably about 20 years ago. Yeah, I was a rule breaker when I started doing this program. It's probably why I got this. Well, okay, you can tell I still am a bit. I can't. All right, I'm lying already. But I learned there's certain things, certain rules that we all should follow in life. And if we do, life is better. If you look at successful people in at least some part of their life and whatever you think is a success, their money or relationships, whatever, they're doing something. They're doing something right. If you come to my inner circle, it's a small group, 12 to 18 people. Cool, professional people, successful people. Not perfect in every area at all. That's why they're in the group. But you're surrounded by people that largely have their act together. Man, could you ever learn from those people? It's amazing. Get a group like that if you don't have one, okay? So not only are they successful, they tend to follow a set of rules. No matter what gets in the way, no matter how life gets in the way, they follow the rules. Now, what kind of rules are these? Well, I guess there are lots of rules. There are just nature rules, right? Nature does certain things. There's physics rules. There's just life rules that are just as they are. I'm not going to waste your time with those things. We're going to talk about the things that you can do. Let's start. What are the rules? Well, the first one is this. The person with the strongest why wins. So I'm a guy who's not a why guy first. I'm not a Simon Sinek why guy first. I'm a what guy first. And the reason is common sense has told me over the years that I didn't care why until I knew what it was. And from all the people I've ever talked to, it was always like once they found out what they wanted, then the why came along. But once you know what you want and the why kicks in, if yours is stronger than the next guy, you win. Competition is everything. We're humans. We compete to win. Survival of the fittest, right? So at work, if you have the strongest why to be the top performing salesman there, your why is stronger than anybody else's, you're probably going to do it. You see this all the time. A lot of people get really frustrated. Well, I show up every day and I do my job too, and yet somebody else just does better. Why? It means more to them. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have a strong why to make a great relationship, you're going to have one. If your friend doesn't, they're not going to. Again, I'm going to tell you this. Once you know what it is, then you can understand why you want it. Make it as strong as possible. And how many do you need? Not too many. Not too many. You can have a couple of whys in your life that are so important to you, they will dominate your life. Next, the person who shows up wins. That's it. We're in a culture these days when they want trophies, participation trophies. They don't even want to show up, or they just want to show up and still get it. The person who shows up consistently wins. We can add all kinds of modifiers to this. I have done over 5,200 episodes of this podcast. I have won multiple times over. Why? Because I show up. In the early days, it's kind of what I did. But now I've got that ability to look back on 20 years and say, look at what I've done every single day. People come to me, they say, that's kind of a feat you accomplished. And I guess it kind of is. 5,000 episodes because I showed up. Is there any reason why I don't win? I showed up. These days with AI happening and the search engine traffic all falling apart, what do you do with search engine traffic? Well, guess what? AI finds more new listeners for me every single day. Why? Because I've been out there so long showing up. It says that guy's legit. Boom. No fake there. Just did it. The person who shows up on time wins. As a coach guy, I probably do more consulting work than coaching work. Kind of a combination of the two. Ooh. About 15 years ago, you could not combine coaching and consulting. It was like not allowed. And one day I said, why? It makes no sense. Why would I listen to you and have you ask questions and figure things out if I could just tell you the answer? I don't know. So I kind of combine the two. But when I coach, say two coaches want to get on the phone and talk to each other, get on Zoom. The first thing we have to do is figure out who's going to call who, and that's always a battle. I try to win. I try to make the phone call. Puts me in control. And secondly, I want to make sure they show up on time. See, we will fight to be on time to the second. Coaches and professionals do that. We don't miss. And people say, hey, being early is on time. Yeah, but sometimes you got to I'm early. I'll sit there in front of my Zoom thing for 3 minutes in advance just to make sure I'm on time. I will.
I see you.
Avatar Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole fam.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
With my clients, person who shows up on time wins. How does that play out? I schedule a call with you at 2 o'clock. I'm there ready to go exactly to the second at 2 p.m. I wait 60 seconds. If you don't show up in 60 seconds, I start thinking. I gave you an extra 60 seconds just to figure out what's going on, and then I hang up. I disappear. If I called you on the phone, I call one time, I'll leave a message, and then I wait. If I don't hear back from you in 5 minutes total, at 5 past the hour, done. I win. I just got paid for not working. But Scott, I was on the phone call and I paid for the hour you're available. I got stuff to do. You were late. I'm moving on. Tell you what, people show up on time all the time now. They have for like 20 years. The person who is the most persistent wins. You got to be persistent at what you do. So many people are not persistent. Be persistent like a dog with a bone. Whatever you decide is important to you, be persistent. You see people like that around you all the time. They're obsessed. Uh-huh. Be obsessed. Be persistent. Go after it. This podcast, good example. Persistent and consistent. 20 plus years. It just happens. It just keeps on going. It writes its own story. I never knew that I've kind of accepted here in like the past 10 days. It's like, I guess my legacy is daily boost. I guess that's what it is. Told you, you're writing your legacy every day. The person who never assumes wins. The person who never assumes wins. I've told you before, part of the service I do at the church I go to is I do audio for the services. I love doing the worship audio. It's just kind of empowering to me, and I like doing it. I do once or twice a month, not a lot, but I never assume it's going to work. See, it's a portable church. It comes out of a trailer, and they set it up every Friday night, and then I go in on Saturday afternoon. I never assume it's going to work, ever, ever, ever. And just 2 weeks ago, I go in there at 3:30 on a Saturday afternoon just to kind of get things ready for rehearsal and get on with the service. And nothing's set up. All the audio is still in the boxes. Nothing is set up. That's usually a 3-person job. I got 30 minutes. Glad I didn't assume. I got there a little bit early and we got it done. The person who is the best at what they do wins. Yeah, that's how it works. Be the best. Make it undeniable. Every time? No, not really. There's all kinds of reasons people win. But I mean, really, when it comes right down to it, when it comes to competition and when it comes to long-term wins, if you're the best at what you do, very, very difficult for anybody to win. And in this day and age of AI, and I use AI a lot, I'm deeply embedded in AI probably more than you can even imagine with all the automation agents and everything else. Because as a guy who creates content, as a talent in what I do, in a very unique way of doing things, I was one of the first guys who said, AI is going to copy me someday. It's going to be pretty easy. I never assumed that AI wouldn't copy me. But I also understand right now that in what I do, it's kind of hard to copy me. I'm going to be the best at what I can do. And if AI catches me, maybe they'll do it in time so I can just keep doing this for the next 50 years, even after I'm dead. Who knows? The person who plans and documents their journey and interactions wins. I'm not really good at this. I'm very good at planning. I'm getting better at documentation. I've never been great at it. It's a real discipline for me to do that. In other words, I can create a hot mess around me really fast. I'm that personality. I'm the kind of guy that goes fast, gets a lot done, and everybody around me has to clean up my mess. And as hard as I try not to do that, I still make more messes. Most things are broken most of the time, so we can do a lot of things really well. I plan exceptionally well. I wish I documented better. Interactions, I almost always win at. I'm pretty good at those. Kind of a skill set I've learned over time. What's up next? Well, the person who gives up total control to others, or gives total control to others, never gives up total control to others, I should say, wins. Never gives up total control to others. I know it's easy, man. It really, truly is. I love to get it total. I go motorcycle riding. All the guys I ride, they're all captains in a major airline. couple of first officers in there as well. These guys are captains. They're navigators. They're massively experienced. They make a lot of money. They're talented people. It is so crazy how we give up control, but not all of it. We kind of share it back there. We all have our own control. That's the thing about riding a motorcycle sometimes. So we ride together as a pack, but not. Somebody pulls off, nobody cares. See you later. Never give up total control to others. There's a real need these days for people to get other people to take care of things for them. But if you never give up total control to others, you're going to win. The person who accepts responsibility for themselves wins. I have made fun of the word accountability and responsibility and discipline. Let's toss it in there too. But accountability and responsibility for years. And there are so many people right now who will not accept responsibility. But. The but stops at you. If you accept responsibility for everything, even if it wasn't your fault, even if you didn't plan it, didn't want it, it just arrived, you win. Because now you can take control. You can fix it, right? Happens all the time. You can get in situations where you didn't do it, but it came down on you. And if you just accept that, guess what? Next time you won't get in situations like that again. The person who serves the most wins. Service is one of those interesting things. When you give, I do on this podcast, I do 5 shows a week, 15-minute shows every single day. Give. 99% of the people who listen to me will never contact me, will never do business with me. They just listen to my stuff and moving on. It's one of the ways I serve. I mentioned the church. It's one of the ways I serve. There's several ways I serve. I try to do it many times. The more you serve, the more you will win. And we can tack onto that. Gratitude. Now, gratitude is one of those things. If you're a woman, and I've talked about this before, so this is not a sexist thing, all right? Women tend to be grateful much easier than guys do. Guys, like, I worked so hard, I have all this, I did all that. I know I should be grateful, but it's a guy thing, okay? But I'm telling you, if you can get out of bed and do whatever you do every single day and take just a little bit of time, you don't have to be official. You don't have to do the 3 gratitude things at nighttime so many people like to do. It never worked for me. I tried it. I think Dan Sullivan does that, right? Writes 3 things he's grateful for before he goes to bed. Kind of loads his mind. It's a great idea. It just never worked for me. I'm just too tired at nighttime, so I don't do it. But man, I spend so much time just appreciating everything I possibly can, and I miss it most of the time. But at least I try, right? Just makes you feel better, right? So these are kind of simple ways of thinking. There's no hard, fast rules here. It's not like the 10 Commandments of making you a success, right? But can you see if you just kind of do these little things consistently, how life, oh, you already knew this stuff. Well, now you know to do it again.